Okay, we are talking about Edulastic. Edulastic is a great way to do online assessments. It's a great way to get your kids ready for testing, especially because now it's no longer paper pencil, it is all online. So, again, this is another free website. I'm going to show you how to send it out to your students, how to look at the data, how to make questions, and how to make assessments. So we're going to go ahead and you can join for free in case you don't have that account, and you click on join for free as a teacher. Your students will do this if they haven't done it already. And again, sign up with Google. If you don't have a Google account, I highly recommend it. Almost all the websites that I use, it's sign up with Google because it's just so easy for students to log in, for yourself to log in. But I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in, and I'm going to sign in with Google. Choose my school account. Great. So I'm looking at I have last year's class, so I'm going to go ahead and I will be updating that for this year's class when that time comes, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do assessments, how to share assessments, so on and so forth. So you can see here, these are my assessments that I have already, that I've already made. They're saved here. If I want to make a new assessment, though, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So you click on Question Bank, and then you can click on your different grade level that you want. It has all the way up to grade 12. Obviously, I teach 4th grade, so I'd be clicking on 4th grade, but they have kindergarten all the way through grade 12, which is awesome. It's super duper cool. And then you can choose your subject. So you can choose mathematics, so you can choose all subjects. So we'll go ahead and click on that just for now. Or you can even just click on a certain standard. So your standard sets, whatever it is, private library, district library, public library, so on and so forth. You can click on what type of questions you want students to do, the depth of knowledge that you want them to do, and the difficulty level. So all of that is right here for you to access, and that's not even creating your own question. That's just the questions that they have here. And I don't know about you, but I like to make life easy for me. So woohoo! So I'll go ahead and show you how to do it. It's super duper easy. So depending on what it is that you want to ask them questions on. So let's get more specific here where I'm going to focus on mathematics. And even more specifically, I'm going to focus on Common Core mathematics. And then even more specifically, I'm going to just focus on this certain standard right here. Now I've got all of these questions. I've got 288 questions, all based on this particular standard right here. And even when you go over it, like, I mean, in case you're like me, I don't know what the standard is. Oh, but look at, when you go over it, it tells you exactly what standard it is that you are looking at. And I can get even more specific with my searching in that I want skill and concept. And that's what it's going to show me. So now that specifically, I only have 3 questions to choose from. If I want to just do recall, it gives me some more. And I can close those down if I don't want to have those. And then I have all of these back here. Now, once you do that, you just click on add, and it's going to start adding this onto your draft assessment. So I'm going to add this one, going to add this one, and you can go all the way through. Again, you've got 288 questions to look through. Now, let's just say that they don't have a question that I like, then I can author a new question. And then they give me all these different question types that I can choose from. And they even have math enhanced question types. So if you're working on fractions, or you're working on drag and drop, or a range, or a line plot, or a number line, they have these more specialized question tools for you to use. Even for ELA, sentence response, passage-based, classification, all of that is right there for you. So it just makes it really easy to do whatever you want when you want to add one. So let's just say you want to do a multiple choice. Obviously, you're just going to enter in your question here. You're going to enter in your choice answer. You can add new choices. They even have a scratch pad feature on here so that students could use a scratch pad on their iPad. I'm kind of iffy on that because unless students have a really good stylus, it's really smudgy and sloppy. So I always have students use scratch paper because when it comes time for testing, that's what they're going to have to use anyways. And then you can select you can add all these different stuff, all this different stuff on there, and you can preview the question. You can, let's just say you cancel it or you save and proceed, and it's going to add that question into your question bank. So I'm going to save, my answer choices are empty, so I'm not going to take all the time to do that. So preview question, again, I'm not going to do that because I don't have a question up. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. All right, so now let's go ahead and review the assessment that I've created. So I'm going to enter in my assessment name, and that's how I'm going to save it. I've got 3 questions. I can adjust the points here on the side if I need to. It gives you the breakdown of the points, the standards that you've used, the question types, and the points. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and publish or assign this because now I'm ready to go. And I can click on my classroom that is here, and I'll show you how to get that classroom started in just a second. But I'm going to click on the classroom that I'm going to assign it to. I click on assign, and then there it goes. Now, right now it's in my private library, but I can change my sharing level that I can add it to my school library or the district library or the whole Edulastic community. That's totally up to you and what it is that you want to do. This is your sharing link if you want to share with another teacher. So you can do that through there. So that's pretty cool. Now, when I go back to my assessments here, so I have my 4th grade math and I could do action. Now, if you've already assigned it to your classroom in Edulastic, you can also push it out to your Google Classroom, which again, if you don't have Google Classroom, I highly recommend getting one. Click the students that you want to push it out to, click your what it is that you want to do. I want to create an assignment, and then I can click on that. 4th grade math, I can say the points, which I think the points were 5 points. It's going to be due, on the 23rd. The topic, it's math work, and then I can even schedule it so that, okay, I really want them to work on this on the 20th because I know it's going to be due on the 23rd. And it's going to assign that assignment at 1:05, and I click on schedule. And then my assignment is waiting for my students in their Google Classroom when I'm ready for them to start working on it. Let's go to Classroom real fast and your classroom. So you can activate a class. You can sync with your Google Classroom. That's exactly what this has done. It gives you the class code that you give to your students. But if you create a class, you enter in all that data right here, and you can start adding your students. However, why not just click on sync it with your Google Classroom and just make it easy for yourself? So they give you the same Google class code, and that's how you enter in all that information there, and then you import it. Again, makes it really easy, and you have all that data. I really like it. My partner teacher and I would take turns creating these Edulastic assessments and then share them with one another. So let's go ahead and we'll click on this fractions test, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you look at their responses. So let's see responses here. So this is going to show me exactly what my students are doing on that particular assignment. So if you look at this, obviously these are questions they've gotten right. This is when they got wrong. This is a question that they might have skipped. This is a question they've gotten partly right. So it might be a multiple choice question where they have to choose more than one answer, and they only picked a couple correct. It gives you the average score in your class. It shows you the questions, how much time has been spent on each question, how many people got it right, how many people got it wrong. All of that data is right here for you. Now, the only thing about Edulastic is your students, once they submit it, it is submitted unless you go in and unsubmit it. So you want to make sure students are being really careful before they submit. One thing that I've done with my students is I will have their scores up like this, and they have to come check with me before they submit, and they can see like, hey, look, you're at a 75% right here, or 77%, excuse me. Do you want to work on these questions, or are you okay with your grade? Now, I don't let them turn it in unless they have a 75% or better. So usually sometimes they come up and they have to resubmit. Sometimes they're happy. This kiddo, he was happy with his 80% and he submitted. Some of those kids, they really want that 100%. So it just allows them to see. Again, Edulastic it's super easy to use. It's got all this information here for you. It mirrors the SBAC, which, that's kind of what we're preparing our students for. They've got this question bank that is full of all sorts of different questions for you to use. I mean, this right here, this is fourth grade ELA, all standards. There's 5,000 questions to choose from, but you can also author your own question. So again, this is just a quick how-to video on how to use Edulastic. I hope that this is helpful for you, and it's an easier way for you to do assessments.